There's no free will because I have to chase after pleasure, right?
Who are you talking about? Just in general? Who?
A person in this world, not a Kabbalah student.
A person who does not have Tzimtzum, Masach, or hozer, restriction, screen returning light, who receives in order to bestow, has no free choice.
Completely.
Completely, of course.
So the whole usage that we have is only to try to attain more and more pleasures in different ways. It just depends on how I chase for them.
According to the plan that operates them.
Meaning all the things that people are doing, they're trying to bring pleasures from here and from here and from here.
None else besides him.
There's no else besides him. All of humanity, all that's happening.
There's nothing to add. That's why it's as if it's non-existent. If you hit the delete on all of those automatic things, what you are left with is a blank screen.
So whenever we talk to our students, for example, we talk about egoism, about the egoists.
You have to explain something, so that's why, what do you explain?
But actually, there's no egoist and there's no...
You can say how great you are, you have a desire for godliness, you came here, you have to tell them that. Or what, you'll tell them you're an animal like everyone else, or what? What lawn is more tastier to you?
We have many articles and we talk about the egoism, meaning the root of all the evil in society.
It depends on the height of our speech, what level of discussion.
So on the basic level it's ego, and when we go deeper, we understand that there's no ego and there's a plan.
There is an ego, but it's directed and operated.
And then the purpose of humanity is to recognize the evil and that it's managed. And
by cornering humanity, which is called the path of suffering, they don't have a choice, and that's why they'll come to correction. They will realize that in order to get rid of suffering, to escape suffering is impossible, but to rise above it in some way, that means fighting with the upper force that put them in such states that are the worst. So they have to fight. And they'll fight against that program that operates them, which is pleasure or pain.
Meaning in all that's being disclosed in the world right now, all the problems, all the troubles here and there, all that humanity needs to hear is that there is nature and that we are now kind of accumulating it in order to battle against it, basically.
Yeah, that's what we're coming to. To discover there's no choice, there's no other option. The work of the Creator is mandatory. Where do we come to this? We come to this because we have a desire for this. We were given a desire. And now you have a bit of a choice to choose between this or that, to seemingly move forward, to seemingly choose. In truth, it's not a choice. The truth is, the more we advance and see, we will see that we haven't chosen anything. The higher degrees beyond the Baal is where we clear the space, where there's free choice. And that too needs to be scrutinized, because that's the middle third of Tiferet.
And a person that is operating according to the Tzimtzum and the Masach and the returning light, what is he moving from one freedom, like from one servitude to a different servitude?
He chooses to work in order to bestow above his will to receive, and then he understands the will to receive was given to him so that he designs for himself a free space, free area. What? If I am in my will to receive, which is necessarily in order to receive, then I can build above that the space, the area where I see this work in order to bestow. It doesn't matter if it's to receive or to bestow, but there is an area, a space where I decide what to do, and it's not because I escape suffering. That's not the reason. Otherwise, that won't be in order to bestow. That will be in order to receive in some other way, not to receive suffering. But when we come to the action of Tzimtzum, Masach, or hozer, to us, that is completely unrelated to our will to receive. It means that we rise above it. It's not related to our will to receive. It's that I suddenly receive the quality of Binah that's unrelated to the will to receive, and in the quality of Binah I decide that I want to bestow. Why? Because I acquired the quality of Binah. This isn't something we can understand right now. You will start asking and it will be like a dog chasing its own tail. We won't get out of that. That's just taste and see that the Lord is good. There's no other choice. We don't understand what it means to be a servant and yet to be free. It's impossible to understand in our state because you receive your nature in advance, and accordingly what you do is you call that freedom. And when you fulfill your will to receive, when you have an opportunity to fulfill your will to receive, you call that free.
In the state of Binah, does the person not work?
No. That's something we can't understand. The upper world, until you acquire it, you don't understand it because there are different discernments there. The quality of bestowal does not oblige. You don't come to it in order to get rid of suffering, and you don't come to it in order to gain. It's not for this or that.
So what is it there for?
I don't have the words. This has no words. That is the nature of God. And when a person enters Ibul, and so on, he begins to understand what is the quality of Bina, because he enters the mother's womb. He enters the quality of Bina. Yes.
In
our broad